Good afternoon, Richie from Driftomaniacs here. I'm going to give you an exclusive peek at the new Arrma Granite 4x4 monster truck and the new Arrma Senton 4x4 short course truck. Now there's a lot to like about both of these cars. They are retailing around about $239.95. However, F&M Hobbies are going to be doing a special on both of these two on Black Friday, so you want to check out the links to them below the video. Very kindly loan these cars so I can show you guys and girls exactly what you get for the money. There's a lot to love about these trucks, so do stay with me throughout both of these unboxings. Then I've got both cars side by side so we can compare and contrast exactly what features are common between the two and exactly what features are different. Now, the killer thing about these trucks is not just their ease of construction and how easy they are to work on, it's the price point that Arrma are really chasing down after Traxxas on this. Both of these trucks have a list price of around just under $240. However, Jim at F&M Hobbies has a Black Friday special on these. Can't tell you a price, you will need to contact him using the link to F&M below the video. Absolute killer of the price. You want either one of these trucks, you are going to want to contact F&M for their best Black Friday pricing. Compared though, say, the Granite Air 4x4 compared to the Traxxas Stampede 4x4, the Traxxas Stampede 4x4 just under $326. So this thing is killing it on price. Well, the good news is Jim is going to let me use one of the Granite 4x4s to do a test run with, so we can see how the thing handles, and more importantly, if it achieves that 30-mile-an-hour top speed, which Traxxas also quote. Commonalities between the Granite and the Senton: you've got tactic radio with both, waterproof servo included, 12-turn brushed motor. Sound familiar? Traxxas Titan 12-turn brush motor. Arrma have also come up exactly the same number of turns on there. They are clearly going after Traxxas. 2,400 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery included. Mains wall charger included, so you might want to budget for a fast charger. The only thing you're going to need is 4 AA batteries. Okay, anyway, so let's see where we've got in the Granite 4x4 here. So, inside the thing, we've got our truck, which I'm just going to pull out in 1 second. Guess in this end, we've got the transmitter, the battery, the charger, and the instruction manual. So, okay, so we have our car. Okay, now these tactic transmitters are a big favourite of mine. We've got throttle, brake, steering on there, throttle trim, steering dual rate adjustment on there, which is a really nice feature as well. Couple of option buttons on the back here, on there. We've got our steering and throttle reversing buttons, and their on-off button on the back. Now, I don't normally do the battery chargers this early on in the video, but it was interesting to see what battery connector we've got inside the thing, and we've got a Dean's T connector on it. Okay, well, looking at our instruction manual, which I'll look at in a bit more detail in a minute, we've got a plastic spanner adjustment tool on there, a couple of Allen keys in here, various suspension tuning parts so you can adjust the spring tension on the shocks. Well, let's peel the protective film off. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, have a quick spin around the body and show you, guys and girls, exactly what you're getting for your money. Well, I have to say that green body is absolutely eye-popping. Just dive in and have a look down the fairly deep dish wheels on there. Very nice tyre tread pattern on there to my mind. Walk round, we'll get the body off in just a couple of seconds. Very, very, very impressed with it so far for this price point. It is definitely designed to be a competitor to Traxxas. Make no mistake on that. And if it's anything like Arrma's other buggies have been, it will be very well engineered. Now I'm just going to take the body off. One really neat feature that Arrma cars have is these body clips, which are actually got this little rubber strap that holds them onto the body, so you can't actually lose them. So you simply pull them undone like that. So with the body off, my first impression is somebody has put a lot of time and thought into the design of this car. The layout is very, very good indeed. We got our nickel metal hydride battery, which is included in there on Velcro straps, nice and easy to remove. Dean's connector tidied out the way, a little clip, nice little feature in there, just plug straight in from there. Our 12-turn motor, they couldn't make it much clearer. This is a 12-turn, when I said another competitor also offers a 12-turn with their buggies and trucks. Our waterproof steering servo there, our ESC, which I'm guessing with most Arrma cars it's also waterproof. Our on-off switch just on here. Anyway, I'm going to take the camera off and have a scan up and down the car. Okay, well, starting off, this huge skirt here along the side is a really neat feature to keep any dust and crap out as you're blasting along through the mud. Very, very neat feature on there. Suspension, just going to do a suspension test in a minute. Now we've got plastic drive shafts on here, but I guess at this price point that's one of things which is going to be necessary to keep the pricing down. Close up shot of the front suspension there. And again, that same protective skirt right the way down both sides. So we've got our servo on there, ESC, and our motor, and this power assembly module. This power module with the motor appears to be on a quick release system, whereby just a couple of screws are required to release the whole thing from there. The same with the electrics. Anyway, moving on around to the back, just see the CV joints in there. Everything appears very, very robust indeed. You got a nice tough back bumper on there, with a little spring on there, so it's going to be designed to take any big impacts with ease. Okay, just a quick scan down the under tray. Everything has that super tough feel to it. You can see there just how thick the rear suspension arms are, as an example, and so are the front for that matter. Well, I don't know about you guys and girls, I'm liking what I'm seeing, liking it a lot. For one thing, it's very, very lightweight. Even with the battery in, that thing, it looks like it's going to be much, much heavier. It certainly has that robust feel to it. You think, oh god, it's going to be heavy. It's not. This thing, it's very, very light indeed. Just going to pan the camera around in a second, do a suspension test on the thing. Speaking of which, the suspension is adjustable in height. You can use those spacers to vary the spring tension, which can raise or lower the car on there. Four-wheel drive, independent suspension, all round. Everything you need included with it, except 4 AA batteries required to get it running. Price point of $239, or F&M's Black Friday price, which I can't comment on, but you really don't want to miss that one out on that one. Okay, suspension test. Let's just see how much we can raise that wheel up by. Ooh, quite a bit on there. What have we got? Coming up on 3 inches on there. Fairly impressive. That's the rear. Spin the car around. Just check the clearances on the front. I'm guessing we're going to be pretty similar. This thing is just going to soak up terrain. This is, as I say, the Granite 4x4 monster truck, as opposed to the short course truck. So I guess we're going to see a few differences maybe on the suspension on the Senton. Well, that's the Arrma Granite 4x4 for you. I'm now going to unbox the Arrma Senton 4x4 and see what similarities and differences we have between the two. One thing I would say also on both of these cars is they have metal gears and they've got ball bearings all round. At this price point, very, very hard to beat. Anyway, let's get the Senton open. Okay, well now I'm going to get on and open the Arrma Senton 4x4. This is a short course truck. Same 12-turn brush motor in here. You get a 2400 nickel metal hydride battery included. Metal gears just the same, and it also comes with ball bearings all round. Why do I know it's going to be substantially different to the Arrma Granite? Completely different box shape and size. Well, let's get the Senton unboxed. So there's quite a few commonalities between the two cars. In the main, this looks substantially wider, although that could just be the body, but we'll put them side by side just to check the wheelbase and the wheel width. And I'm guessing in this end again the same, we've got our transmitter and our charger. Here we've got our car. I'm going to reveal that in just 1 second. Same on there, we've got our tools, suspension components on there, and our quick start guide. And indeed, in the box we've got our transmitter just the same, and our battery charger. Well, with the body film peeled off, let's take the camera off the tripod, have a closer look at this baby. Well, let's start at the back and have a look at this also gorgeous looking body. Tyres on wheels on this thing, very, very different to the Granite. Well, I was saying there's similarities between the two. I think we're going to find that mainly those similarities are under the skin as opposed to the exterior. You can see here we've got far more short course orientated tyres rather than ones on the monster truck there. Hopefully that eye pop in red comes out on camera. Sometimes my camera does have a habit of adjusting the colour. Very, very neat though. Again, this price point on here, just under $240 with ready to run with the nickel metal hydride included. All you've got to get is 4 AA batteries to be up and running. Anyway, let's pop that body open. You've got the same easy access, easy to not lose these body clips. Very neat feature to mine. I've actually retrofitted these to my other RC cars, which you may want to consider doing. Okay, well, I was right and I was wrong. There are some similarities between the cars in terms of the battery layout, the motor and the powertrain setup on there, and the electronics setup and the suspension setup. However, the whole thing is sitting much lower. You've got a very different setup with the mudguard and the side barrier on a far more traditional short course barrier for any bumping if you happen to take the thin racing on there. Once again, this is very, very lightweight indeed. With the battery in there, that's not a bad weight at all. I think this thing is going to be quite fast. Again, they're quoting 30 miles an hour plus with this 12-turn motor on here. Now I'm actually going to start at the back. The reason for that is the rear bumper setup here is very, very different. Suspension setup throughout though looks very, very similar. This appears to be sitting much, much lower, but I have a feeling that might be deceptive and it may be just the same height as the Granite, but I'm going to put them side by side in a minute to see. We've got our Titan 12-turn motor on there, our ESC, a waterproof servo on this one, the same metal gears and bearings throughout, our included 2400 nickel metal hydride battery pack. So you can begin to see the similarities on the suspension setup on there. Quite neat, the little shock guards at the front there to keep a little bit of the crap that might come out when you're out and about bashing this thing or racing it at the track. So, similar but different. Okay, quick test on the front suspension here. So we've got about the same rate of travel as on the Granite, which is not entirely unexpected given the similarities in the suspension setup there. And so it appears to be sitting lower, but that could just be an optical illusion. I should think the thing handles similar but slightly different to the Granite, predominantly due to the difference in the tyres. Okay, well, just quickly scanning down that chassis, the one thing on the Senton here is it's even more open and easy to access everything than the Granite is. So it features the easy access electronics module on here, easy access powertrain module, and easy to remove rear diffs and front diffs. Well, please do share your thoughts and comments on what you see so far and which car you would prefer out of the two. I'm going to put them side by side on the bench now so we can compare them height, width, etc. Okay, well, which one would you prefer to buy? Personally, I'm loving the eye-popping green of the Granite, and I'm not surprised Jim from F&M has opted for that one as his own personal car. Anyway, going to move down so we can see if that ride height is perceived or real. And yes, the Granite on the left is sitting higher than the Senton on the right, so we are going to get some noticeable handling differences, and there you can very much see the difference in the tyres. The ones on the Granite nearly double the width. They're also substantially higher, so they're definitely going to handle very, very differently to each other. So the main similarities, if you like, just in that powertrain in terms of the diffs they've got on there, the easy to remove electronics and powertrain module. So internally on the kind of mechanicals and electricals, they're quite similar, but I should think these are going to handle very differently when we get them out and about. Now, moving around the side here, as I also wanted to show, is the Senton has got marginally longer wheelbase than the Granite here, if you can see them side by side on there. So the Senton is probably going to handle a little bit better at speed, although they both have the same quoted 30 mile an hour speed. Now you're wondering, why has he put them head to head like this? Now it's the only way I can show now putting them facing each other is the only way that I can show the track width difference. You will notice the Granite here with the green is substantially wider than the Senton in the red. Anyway, just thought it useful to show people. Well, I hope you enjoyed that sort of exclusive sneak peek at the Arrma Granite 4x4 and the Arrma Senton 4x4. Please do vote away, say which one you prefer out of the two. Would love to hear your comments on these cars. To say many similarities between the two, yeah, I suspect they will both have very different handling characteristics, but I don't want to know which one people there would prefer. F&M Hobby's most interested to hear which one people would prefer. As I say, they have a cracking Black Friday special on both of these cars. There is a link to them below the video, and many thanks to them for providing these cars for me to review for you guys and girls today. And we've got more of the Granite one coming out this week. As I speak, the battery's charging. Going to get that ready for our road test outside. I'm also going to test out to see if it hits that 30 mph quoted top speed straight out the box or not. Anyway, if you like this video, as ever, please do subscribe and by all means share with friends.
Well, if you like this video, then please do subscribe. And if you want to buy your RC gear, where I buy mine, buy from F&M Hobbies in New Jersey. Many thanks for watching.